Hello everyone, Larry Satchwell here, back in the shop again. I hope to do a lot more woodworking next year. But my grandson's birthday's coming up. Killian will be 1 year old on January 1st. Chelsea recently sent me a message asking me if I could make him a time capsule box. She and Ben want to give him this box on his 18th birthday and some memories of his first. I'm going to laminate a couple of pieces of walnut that my younger brother gave me many years ago. He is now retired after working for the Library of Congress for 25 years maybe, I don't know, but at one time early in his career he was a shop teacher, and he had this roll of veneer he gave me, and I've been saving it for special stuff. And it doesn't get any more special than making stuff for the grandson. And I'm going to use an old method I saw in fine woodworking years and years ago too, that I tucked back in my memory. I'm going to use a hot iron to kind of weld this together. Now, the key thing is, I'm not sure, can't remember, and I don't want to take time to look it up, if in that fine woodworking article they laminated both sides or just one. So I'm going to try to work this on both sides at the same time. I'll put plenty of glue on here. This is oversized on purpose. I'm going to use this as the bottom, and if I can find a piece of veneer that's really pops, I may try using it for the top as well on one of them. I still haven't figured out if I want to put a hinge on this or have it lift off. I don't have a vacuum press, and to do a piece of plywood veneer this large, I have some granite slabs that would work, but I'm going to see if this doesn't work as well. And this way I will have a couple of days to see if this veneer is going to separate. I don't think this will affect the birch plywood that's under it. I'm going to give it a good bit of pressure here. Oh, that's sticking pretty good. Put one of my stones on it. This is a stone I use for sharpening my carving tools, and I'll leave that there. I just cut the front and the back. I'm really happy with the way it looks. I used a 1/2 inch setup block to set my router blade a 1/2 inch inside the miter. Now I'm ready to go with this. Of course, I forgot to film this part, but it went really well. So I'm going to turn the vacuum on and do it again. Well, the veneer's been in there a long time, so I need to slice off some of this veneer. I don't have a veneer saw, and I certainly don't do enough to invest in one. I think my block plane might be sharper than the knife. I have the blocks, this set up to set a 1/4 inch in. I need to make sure I have all of the miters down. Well, I just put this together. I couldn't be more happy. I think I'll put the dark one on the inside. The grain just matches so much nicer. I've got my splines ready to go. So I'm going to put some painter's tape on the inside there so that if I have a glue leak, it's a lot easier to clean up. I'm going to open this up. Might as well go ahead and do that. Little spline got caught on the test fit. I'm going to put a layer of glue on all of these joints and let it dry until it's a little bit tacky, quite a bit tacky. That'll soak up the end grain in theory. That's what everybody's saying these days. That'll soak up the end grain. Then I'll put the glue on, and while that is still there, work my splines down in the spline slot and be ready to go here. I'm excited. This is a big step. Good day of work. All right, I'm ready for the first part of the glue. I'm going to be lining this box. So I'm not real, if I weren't, I should have sanded it at this point. But since I am going to be lining it, I'm not going to worry about the sanding. And the glue cleanup is not going to be that critical, but at the same time, I want the liner to slip in there really easily without hitting a bunch of glue bumps. So this is just a real light coat. I want to more or less seal the end grain here. So here we go. I'm going to put a little glue right in the center of the two long pieces, just to keep it from rattling around. And it's not a lot of glue. That's not good. That tape was on the inside and I'd never get it out. I just got box glue on the outside. I guess that's okay. I'm going to get my corner clamps on here. If I had two, I would use them, but that's not the case, so I'm going to put this right in the middle or so. Nice and tight. So this is the first spline going in. Perfect. Well, at this point, I lost some footage and I lost the audio on other footage, but it's obvious that I've already added a piece of maple to the top and cut the top off from the box. I carved the top of this box mainly with an Arbortech 2-inch gouge power carver and a lot of sanding. I used about every tool I had to round it over here, some rasp and sandpaper, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think it's going to look really good once I add a handle to it. I'm nearing the finish line on this box. I've spent the last few minutes, actually, not that long, setting up my table saw here for a 45-degree miter cut. I've honed it in. I've honed in on the liner here. Amazingly, this fits the same on both sides, which is very rare for me in making a box. But I think this new table saw has made complete difference. The other thing that's made a big difference is the micro adjuster here. I could just move it by a hair. And so that's really helped too. So I'm ready to cut the cherry lining. Need to get my hearing and eye protection on and turn on the vacuum. Well, before I cut the other one, I want to double check to make sure I'm spot on here. Feels like it's a touch long. And that's okay. I'd rather it be a touch long than too short. Well, I'm really happy with this joint. These are tight, and I don't want to force them in there. I think just a little sanding will send those home. A little bit of sanding to do to get that tape off the end, but I couldn't be happier with that.